Hi guys, I'm Andy, welcome to Shedgames. Today we're going to be doing the Q&A episode that I promised oh so very long ago, but wasn't able to do because of illness and work commitments, but now I can. I've got quite a few questions, which is quite nice, so thank you very much to everyone who has asked me a question, who has given a bit of thought towards it, and who is interested in my life. You know, don't know why you would be, but there you go. Some people are. So let's jump straight in and go with a question from Ginger Red. Ginger Red, hi, and thank you for your question. Have I thought of playing anything else other than horror games? The answer to that simply is yes. I would love to play more, but because of time constraints, which I will go into in a bit, I can't. I had to kind of make a decision when I first started the channel, so kind of which way to go. I started with playing the Lego game and various other games, and it quickly occurred to me that I can't just play any game, because I mean I could do, but then you wouldn't get to see an awful lot. So I love, because I love horror games, I just adore horror games. I love being scared, I love people's reactions when they get scared. I just felt that I wanted to offer a channel which was purely horror based or thereabouts, you know. There are others out there. Game Brahman, who does the indie horror games. He does nothing but indie horror games, and he's absolutely fantastic, the boss man. So I just want to do horror games. I have ideas of doing a second channel at some point when I get this all sort of calmed down and get it together, of any other game. But I'm not sure how much time I'm going to be able to spend on that, so I don't know when that's going to happen. So, I mean, in answer to the question, yeah, I would love to play other games other than horror, but horror just seems to be my main interest. So, there you go. Hope that answered your question. Jerry from Watch Me Gaming, hi Jerry, has asked, what's my most enjoyed game on my channel? The game I've most enjoyed on my channel, that's a toughie because there's quite a few. I think the one that springs to mind more than most is Outlast. I'm a massive fan of Outlast. I love the single player, the first person sort of shoot 'em up style horror game. I love that because you really get immersed into the game and you become that person. And Outlast is just a fantastic game. Any other games that I enjoyed doing? I mean, I enjoyed doing loads. But I think, if I'm going to be honest, Outlast is the one. Outlast and Outlast Whistleblower, because it's just the gameplay on that is just so fab. It's brilliant. Love it. Jason from Shedgames. What would I do if the Earth was to end in 1 hour? Well, firstly, do you know anything I don't know? And if you don't, and it's a hypothetical question, which I hope it is, what would I do? I'd go and wake up the family, because they're all asleep at the moment, having an afternoon nap because they're all knackered. And I'd just go and spend it with them. I don't know, playing with them, quality time, spending it with my family and telling them how much I love them. How about that for cheese served up on a platter? But it's true, I'd spend it with my family. B&G Games. B&G Games, hi guys, hi Nick. What is my normal record and upload schedule like, and how do I cope with the game / family sync? That, Nick, is a tough one. Some of you may or may not know much about me and my day and my family, so let's go through it all. Okay, basically, I live in a house. I have a long-term... actually, it's our anniversary. It was our anniversary the other day, on the 30th. And we've been together 7 years. We have 2 children between ourselves, Daisy and Charlie. And I have 2 children from a previous relationship, Emily and Alice. And their age ranges from 14 down to 3. Charlie's 3, bless him. So we have 4 children every other weekend. Because I see the 2 older girls every other weekend. They come and stay with us. But on a day-to-day basis, we have 2 children. We're also foster carers. Michelle is the primary carer. I'm just a general carer. you know. But we are foster carers, so at the moment we have mother and baby placement, and we've had single placement children placements before. So yeah, I mean, every other weekend at the moment we have 8 of us. I know that's quite a lot in a 4-bedroom semi, so it gets quite full. So my day consists basically getting up or being woken up by Charlie at around sort of 6 o'clock ish. Spend the morning doing the kids, helping out with the breakfast, and sometimes helping out with the school run, although Shell tends to do that mainly. I have a full-time job. I have to be there at 9. I tend to get there about 15:15, bless them. It's family business, so it's not quite so bad, although I do run up the wrong way with that. And I stay there until usually about 6:30, 6 o'clock. So I'm back home by 6:30, 7 o'clock, that kind of time. So from the time I get up, 6 o'clock in the morning, to 7 o'clock in the evening, I'm out. In my lunch hour, I do tend to catch up a bit on YouTube, watch videos and things like that you guys have done, and make comments, and sometimes catch up on my comments. But generally, yeah, I don't do anything. When I get home from 7, that's kind of family time for hour and a half, so I try and spend it with Shell, and Charlie's generally up, so I try and put him to bed even though he doesn't like it and he screams the house down because he'd rather be with his mum, because he's a bit of a mum's boy, bless him. I've got to have some tea as well, something to eat, and it's basically about 8:30 at night in the evening that I get into the shed. And I have a window of probably about 3 hours, because come 11:30 I'm generally falling asleep at the desk, so and I need to be indoors. And then I go in and sort of spend half an hour watching telly, just relaxing, coming down before I go to bed at midnight. That's kind of my day. So I have basically 3 hours in the evenings, and then it depends what's going on, because I have my own business as well. I video school shows, nativities productions, theatre productions as well. Sometimes do a bit of corporate work. I do some 3D work as well, some animation, some visuals. Depends how busy I am with that. If I'm really busy, then I don't get any time at all, because I've got to spend the evening doing that. If I'm not, like I am at the moment, then I have 3 hours to catch up on YouTube comments, reply to people, and then obviously get the game, play it, video it, and edit it, and upload it. And as Brad from Shedgames knows, that takes an awful amount of time, because my internet's really slow. So it takes, to upload a video, it can take sort of 3 or 4 hours for like a 20-minute video. So it's pretty hectic and pretty slow in that sense. So yeah, so my day's pretty hectic, and there's a fine line, but basically I have a 3-hour window between 8:30 in the evening and 11:30 in the evening to do what I need to do. So that's why I don't have videos out every day. Because sometimes it's quite often I play Alien, or I have played Alien, or Five Nights at Freddy's, or The Evil Within, and I've just completely bollocksed it up. I can't get through that level without dying, so therefore I've got nothing. So then the next night I have to do something again, and because of where I work, we're in the conference and the corporate events industry. Sometimes I'm asked to sort of go and do late nights down in London, things like that. So, you know, there are evenings where I just can't do anything anyway, or I try, but then nothing comes out, nothing's successful. So, yeah, it's tough, but you know, I try and do as much as I can, and I thank you guys for being patient with me, because I know sometimes it's a few days between videos, and I appreciate people sticking by me and being patient, and all the love I get. So thanks for that. So I hope that answers your question. It's a bit of a tough line, but I have a 3-hour window every day, and I'll try and get it right, and it doesn't always work. Brad from Shedgames. What's the first game I've played where the story is on par with TV or film? That's pretty deep. I have thought about that, and I'm thinking to myself, there are two. Although the first one's a little bit thin on the ground as far as the link is concerned, but it's Resident Evil, the first one. I guess is one. I mean, the thing about me is because I'm 44. I know it's hard to believe. I know you all thought I was about 24, but 28. Let's face it. I'm actually 44, so I was around when the first computer games came around, and consoles and things. So I was around with the Ataris and the Spectrums, ZX Spectrums, and the BBC Micro B, all those which you've never heard of before. But so there's some absolutely fantastic games, and although I've never been a massive gamer, I have played quite a lot since the beginning. Tomb Raider, the second Tomb Raider, I think, which was one of my favourite games. I said the second one. The second one was my favourite game. The first one, I guess, which I did play, that would probably be the first one that I played where the storyline kind of had something to do with, you could kind of see it merging into the TV and film industry, which it did, obviously. And there's this, it's the first one, I guess, when I thought, wow, that's actually something here, whereas like Manic Miner and Chucky Egg and all those, the really early ones, and Tekken, there's no storyline at all. You just got a little platform, you just got to get to the top and stuff. Whereas Tomb Raider, there was actually something a little bit more behind it. And then Resident Evil, there's a bit more still. Bit of substance to it. So and obviously both of those since then have been made into films, so I guess those two, Tomb Raider and Resident Evil. There you go. Thank you, Brad. Right, we've got Elemental Storm, Life of Gaming, in my Life of Gaming, which is my favourite game and why? I think there are three, and I'll tell you which one was my favourite. Chucky Egg was by far my favourite game in the beginning. Now, for those who don't know Chucky Egg, go look it up on YouTube. It was a BBC Micro B game. It was really simple, and it was just basically this little character that goes up on these little platforms. You've got to collect the eggs and watch out for the chicken and things like that. And it was like Donkey Kong, but it was something about Chucky Egg. I just loved it, and I made it all the way through to the end. And I completed that, and that was brilliant. So that was my first favourite game, if you like. Number two would be Tomb Raider, and I would go for number two because I liked number two more than number one. I love in number two, if I remember this right. Number two had the. I need to look this up. Maybe I'm sure number two was the one where they were based in Italy. In Venice, and she was in that boat and going around. I just loved the music in that. It was everything about it. I just love Tomb Raider as a game. So Tomb Raider, but number two I think stuck out for me. It was really good. It was really hard as well. So that was good. But I think, if I'm going to be honest, my favourite game would probably be Outlast. Absolutely adore Outlast. I think it's absolutely fantastic. It ticks all the boxes for me, and the gameplay is brilliant, and it scares the crap out of me, and the graphics are fantastic, and it's really disgusting, gory, and macabre. I love it. So I think not Jerry. I think Elemental Storm. It would be Outlast. Right. Ash Swoon has asked, what's the favourite part of my day and why? The favourite part of my day, I've got to be honest with you, is she'll probably never forgive me for saying this, but and I don't mean any offence, my sweet, my darling, Shell, but it's the moment when Shell goes to bed and the kids are all tucked up and I have this house to myself. And this sounds daft, but you kind of got your freedom, you can do what you want. And I go in the shed, and it's that moment where she goes up to bed. We've had an hour together and do whatever we do and watch TV and all that. Excuse me. And she goes to bed, which is about 8:30 because she's an early sleeper. And I just come into the shed, and I do my thing in the shed. I love that part of the day. And then getting into bed, it's like you just totally relax getting into bed, and it's like and then you go to sleep. And the worst part of the day is getting up. So yeah, there you go. That's my favourite part of the day. Now, I've got a few questions from one of my Uber... Oops, hang on a minute. From an Uber fan of mine, if I can say that. Trinity Ann. She's got half a dozen questions here. Let's have a look, see what she asks. Will I be making any merchandise like t-shirts with a logo on in the future? The answer to that, I guess, I don't know. I have looked at it and I thought about it, and I think it really depends on you guys as to whether I do it or not. If I have the interest in the channel, so my subscriber level goes to new heights. I don't know what those heights would be, but you know, they're in just over 1,000, nearly getting up to 1,100. So you know, I guess if you got 5,000 or 10,000 subscribers, then you kind of want to give a bit back, maybe. Not that it would be free. I mean, unfortunately, you don't tend to get that. But yes, I have thought about it actually, and I quite fancy the idea of doing t-shirts and things, mugs and mouse mats and all that sort of stuff. I know a couple of other people who do it. In my community, and yeah, I quite fancy. Yeah, I'd do that. Yeah, do you fancy buying one then, Trinity Ann? I hope so. Yeah. Would anyone else want to buy? If I did a T-shirt with Shedgames and some really weird macabre image on, would you buy it? Let me know. Put it in the comments below. Let me know. Right then. Do you even have a logo? Not officially. No, I don't have an official logo. I kind of like the eyes that I've got on the Facebook on the YouTube channel, and the name Shedgames, Home of Horror. I kind of like that, so I'd think I'd probably do some kind of and the claws. So I'll probably do a logo incorporating all those. So I've kind of got a logo, but not an official logo. No. Will I be doing collabs in the future with any YouTubers? Yes, I will actually. Now I've said no before because I didn't think, in all honesty, I better do them because the internet is so slow here when I live. It's pretty awful. I downloaded a game the other day. It took Brad from Broden Games about 15 minutes to do it. It took me a day and a half. That's how bad it is here. But I did eventually download it. Now I've been playing the Hunter Primal as a multiplayer game with Brad. And I'm looking to play with some others on that game as well. I didn't think I'd be able to do it. I had a go. I tried it, and lo and behold, I can. I was dumbfounded. So I've been telling people for months that I'm sorry, I can't play with you because I can't actually do it, but I can. I'm not lying to you. I just found out the other day that I can actually do it. So yes, I will be doing some in the future. If I become an actual YouTube gamer, would I consider watching your video or my videos and possibly collab with me in the future? Asks Trinity Ann. The answer to that would be absolutely yes, of course, without a shadow of a doubt. If you ever get your channel up and running, get some games on there, and you want to do some collabs, I would love to do some with you, because you have been one of my stalwart fans right from the beginning, and you've shown me a lot of support and a lot of love, and you'll get that right back from me. So yes, absolutely yes to those. And how is the weather where I live now? It's quite nice. It's a clear, crisp winter's day. It's not that cold. It's probably about 4 degrees, 5 degrees out there, I guess. We had a sharp frost this morning, but that's kind of gone, although there's a little bit left. It's quite nice. It's clear. No rain. It's not hot, and it's not overly cold. So yeah, it's quite nice actually. It's quite a nice winter's day. And will I be having a Facebook page in the future? Well, I already have a Facebook page, but it's a personal one. And there's a couple of people from the gaming community who are friends on there. But generally speaking, I don't have a Shedgames Facebook page at the moment. The only reason why I hesitate is because I don't use my Facebook page that I have now very often. I tend not to go on it. I mean, I have a Twitter account and I have obviously YouTube. I may get a Facebook page in the future. I don't know. I'm in an R-ing, because I don't know. I just don't know. Do you want me to have one? Stick it in the comments below. If you want me to have a Facebook page, I will. There you go. And that is the end of my Q&A episode. I hope that gives you a little bit more insight to me, Shedgames, or Andy in Shedgames, because people do seem to be interested and do ask a lot of questions. If you do have any more questions, let me know, and I might end up doing a second Q&A session. Who knows? But there you go. So thanks for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't. Press the like button and leave comments below if you agree with my answers. If you don't, well, there you go. Everyone has an opinion. And I'll see you guys for the next video very soon. Oh, and by the way, excuse me, it's New Year's Eve. I know. So I would like to wish absolutely everyone a Happy New Year. I shall be up till at least past 12 tonight watching it go by. I don't know whether or not I'm playing games or not at that point. I don't know, but I shall be playing games, and I shall be watching the night through. So Happy New Year to everyone. I hope 2015 brings you much better things than it did this year. I wish everyone happiness and health and lots and lots of love, and I'll see you on the other side. So take care and see you later. Bye.